Hello everyone and welcome back to Microsoft Dangerous Creatures. Today, Coral Reef Dive, the last of Tawny's guided tours.
Got your scuba gear ready to go? Tanks filled up with air and regulators checked out? Let's go on a tour of a coral reef. Click my button and we'll begin.
It's weird that this is the only one with a different, well, you know. Yeah, still the same. And honestly, this feels a bit more on par with what we got with Fergus.
A coral reef is a fantastic world, isn't it? Everything is beautiful down here. But don't get starry-eyed in this wonderland. You've got to watch out. There's danger where you least expect it. Even the coral itself can be pretty treacherous. If you think that coral's a type of rock, you're only partially right. That hard substance that landlubbers call coral is the hard covering created by millions of tiny corals, which are animals, although they look a little like plants. Now, these orange ones are fire corals, and if you brush up against them with your bare skin, you'll find out how they got that name. They sting like red-hot coals. Did you know that starfish have a mouth in the center of their bodies and eyes on the ends of each arm? They can shake hands and poke each other in the eye at the same time. And you thought creatures like that existed only in science fiction. The ocean is definitely like an alien world, right here on Earth.
You can see the eyes right there.
Speaking of aliens, here's one now. Pufferfish can blow themselves up like balloons. They usually do it by sucking in water, but a few have been known to go to the surface and suck in air. Now that's not real smart because it makes them float on the surface of the water, and then sometimes birds come down and peck at them. But then most fish aren't known for their intelligence, and pufferfish don't have to be smart because they're poisonous to eat. How'd you like to spend your life in a box? That's what these odd little fish do. They have hard skeleton boxes right under their skin, instead of ribs and a backbone like some other fish do. It's pretty hard to swim fast if you're box-shaped, so these guys spend a lot of time close to the reef where they can hide.
I'd say so.
And wherever there's a hiding spot, like a hole or a crevice on a reef, there's a good chance that something will be waiting inside. A moray eel may come rushing out at you like this. That can scare the wetsuit right off you, but morays usually don't bite, so consider yourself lucky. Now, if you're unlucky, something else might come out.
Yeah, the moray eel near the in the Big Al's aquarium near me died recently, not as in this year, but in the last couple of few years. Yeah, he was 50. Or in his 50s, one of the two. His name was Igor.
And if it looks anything like this, you'd better back paddle fast. Sea snakes are related to cobras, and some types have venom powerful enough to kill a person. Yikes! I don't ever want to be this close to a sea snake again. You probably recognize a snake when you see one, whether it's on land or swimming in the ocean. But you'd be surprised what's venomous down here. For example, those little cone shells you see in the lower left corner are home to some pretty nasty critters. If you pick one up, the mollusk inside can stab you with a venomous barb like a harpoon. Now, as for this giant blue clam, people tell tales about it, but it isn't really dangerous unless it closes its shell on your foot and holds you down until you run out of air. Keep your foot out of its face and you'll be okay. Did you know that every octopus has a sharp beak at the center of those 8 arms? Believe me, you don't want to find out, especially with this one. This tiny blue-ringed octopus is armed with enough venom to send you to your grave. Let's swim on. Here's a fish that's a real show-off. It parades around like it's saying, "Look at me, I'm the best-looking fish here, aren't I?" But a lionfish has got good reason to be vain. Not only is it beautiful, but those spines are sharp and venomous too. So everything down here looks at lionfish, but nothing touches them. If you decide to stand up on the ocean floor, you'd better take a good look first. If you put your foot on one of these, it could be the last step you'll ever take. Stonefish are deadly, and they like to bury themselves in the sand so they blend in with the lumps of rock and coral.
Well, you're starting to get an idea of why Lovecraft was terrified of sea life.
This guy looks like he could cut you in half, but don't worry, sawfish use their chainsaw snouts to impale fish, not people. Can you imagine how frustrating it would be to get a fish stuck on one of those nose spikes? It would be kind of like having a hamburger glued to the side of your face.
Yes, indeed.
Whoa, it's a runaway rug. Actually, this floating bundle of rags is called a wobbegong shark, and it always wears camouflage like this so it can lay in wait.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa, it's a runaway rug. Actually, this floating bundle of rags is called a wobbegong shark, and it always wears camouflage like this so it can lay in wait for its prey on the bottom. Pretty sneaky, huh? One little wobbegong shark is okay with me, but a bunch of hammerheads is definitely cause for concern. Let's head back to the boat. Swim nice and steady now. Don't flop around like a wounded fish. When a whole group of sharks gets together, it's time for people to get out of the water. Mobs can't ever be trusted. Oh my gosh, I've seen this monster before in my nightmares. If divers say they aren't afraid of great white sharks, they're either crazy or they're lying. These giants eat a lot of marine mammals, and a diver in a wetsuit and flippers can look a lot like a sea lion. Let's get out now before he circles back. If you want to go off in search of your own adventures, click the contents button below, but be careful. There are a lot of dangerous creatures out there. If you'd rather travel with an expert guide, click my button again to go back to the guide screen, and then choose another tour.
And, yeah, the next tour will have to wait until Wednesday. It's a long weekend, Monday's a holiday, which, of course, I'll be taking off. So anyway, that's all for today. I'm Brian Croy Dragon, signing out. Stay straight!